Cryptography is all about secret keys that need high-quality entropy to be truly random. NetRandom from Whitewood Security delivers pure quantum entropy on demand across the entire data center and out to the cloud. Think NTP, but for quantum entropy. Inoculate your applications from making weak crypto keys, all without having to change a line of code. Visit getnetrandom.com to learn how you can take control of your entropy supply and ensure crypto security today. Onapsis is the leading provider of solutions to protect ERP systems from cyber attacks. Customers can secure their SAP and Oracle business-critical platforms from espionage, sabotage, and financial fraud risks. Visit them on the web at onapsis.com. The SANS Institute, the most trusted source for computer security certification training and research. Visit SANS.org to explore their full curriculum and latest training offerings. NetSparker, the developers of desktop and cloud-based web application security scanners that enable you to automatically identify vulnerabilities in your web applications and web services. NetSparker scanners employ a unique and dead-accurate vulnerability scanning engine that automatically verifies vulnerabilities with their proof of concept. For more information, visit them on the web at netsparker.com or email at contact@netsparker.com. Holy crap, it's a new announcement.
Holy crap, it's a crapple.
Holy crap, it's a crapple. Holy crap, it's InfoSec World, March 19th through the 21st of 2018, Lake Buena Vista, Florida.
Oh, yeah.
It's at the wonderful Disney Contemporary Resort. I say wonderful, but I'm being sarcastic. No, it's fine. I mean, we've all been to Contemporary.
I'd love. I've never stayed at the Contemporary. I'd love to, just because the monorail goes through it, and I can go right to the Magic Kingdom and.
No, you can walk to the Magic Kingdom from Contemporary.
No, you take the monorail because I'm a lazy ass bastard. I'm going to walk enough at Disney.
No, like really, it's really not even that.
I know it is. I know it is.
It's really.
I know.
Like literally, you take a right out of the parking lot and like you're like at the Magic Kingdom.
Right there. I know.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah. Now that said, that is that's the week before the SANS conference in Orlando.
Interesting. Go to both.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, one of the reasons we do this conference is because it's March. It's still a little cold, and we've just gone through a winter here in New England. And everyone kind of lines up here at Security Weekly to be like, hey, can I go to InfoSec World? Because I want to go someplace really warm.
And when you say it's still cold, and by cold from us going to New England and us going to Florida, it's like shorts and T-shirts weather.
Yeah.
And everybody in Florida looks at us like we're insane.
Yeah. It's not short and T-shirt weather here in March. Typically. Well,
but by then it's already March, and it's normal to us, so it's shorts and T-shirt weather.
Yeah. It's just a lot. We've just gone through a winter in New England, which is never really all that fun. So you can save 15% off InfoSec World with the code. Hold on, let me advance the teleprompter. OS18-SW.
Nice.
You can catch talks from Adrian Sanabria, Diane Kelly, and Ed Moyle.
Nice.
Jennifer Manella. Joseph something.
Zacchaeus.
Yeah. Mark Arnold. We know Mark. Mark's great.
And we know Jennifer.
Matthias Madu and Summer Follower.
All good people.
We're having many of those people on the show either for interviews before, during, or after InfoSec World. So I'm excited. I really like. I don't think you've ever been to InfoSec World.
And I'd love to see, depending if it's possible, maybe I can get a pass to come down.
We can get you if you want to go. Tell Sam. She makes things happen around here. Tell Sam, she'll get you a pass. I mean, you can just come hang out with us. It's totally cool. I really like InfoSec World. It's one of the conferences, and like, how awesome would it be if I got to hang out more with Larry, and I get to spend time with Dave Kennedy and Kevin Johnson and Tom Eston and all these wonderful. Chris Nickerson usually go. Like, I get to spend time with people that I know and love and want to hang out with, as well as interface with a lot of people that are from the business community, from the auditing community, and they bring in this new mix of people as well. I really love InfoSec World. It's one conference that we'll do every year. Catherine Teitler she's awesome. Nice. She's awesome. She helps facilitate the whole thing, and is a wonderful person to work with, as is everyone at InfoSec World. I can't say enough about this conference. I really hope all of our listeners attend because, dude, it's in Orlando. You should just go and hang out, and it's a great mix of community people, industry people, and some new people you might not have met that are in business or auditing and they're getting exposure to the security community for the first time.
That's awesome.
Love it.
I want to go. I'm going to
go. Jeff wants to
Talk to Sam.
Sam, I defer. I need to get a T-shirt in the office. I was joking the last week, I think, that just says, like, Ask Sam. I don't know. Ask Sam. I don't know. Ask Sam. Whatever.
Yeah, and that was funny. I pinged you on something about some email that came in yesterday, and I said, in Slack, I pinged you and said, hey, do you know about this? And Sam replied.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I'm like, I was in sales I've been literally in sales meetings for like a month straight. Like, that's been my sole focus. I'm glad that we're on the tail end of that so I can get back to focusing on some technical things. I did submit to Source Boston my talk on Docker security. Hopefully they accept it. If you're listening, please accept my talk because it's going to be great, I promise. And I'm going to put a lot of work and effort into that as I have this year into Docker and Docker security. I feel very passionately about that, so that's going to be good. Now, Joff, you had some announcements as well. You're doing some teaching coming up as you're a SANS instructor extraordinaire.
Oh, thanks, Paul. No, I actually have a challenge for our information security professionals out there. And the challenge is this: make a New Year's resolution to learn the Python programming language. I highly encourage it. It's going to make a big change to your InfoSec career. And I think having development skills as an information security professional is probably the best thing you can possibly do. So my announcement is that I'll be teaching Python for pen testers. Oh, man, I always get that wrong. It's now called Automating Information Security with Python. Sec 573, we're going to be teaching in, I will be teaching Northern Virginia, Reston, January 15th. And I will also be teaching in Singapore for our Southeast Asia people in March, about March 15th, thereabouts. So there's my announcements.
Nice. So, Joff, I actually learned some Python today. I had some need to do some Scapy and learn some Python, and I'm going to go spend some more time with that this evening to do a few things that I didn't get to finish today. So that's awesome. And I'm also going to be enrolling in 573 On Demand sometime here right after the New Year. So I'm excited.
Oh, that's awesome. The fact of the matter is, in the first 2 days of the class, we teach you the fundamentals of the programming language to the point where you at least have a base in the language, and then we go on to programming different projects for the remaining 3 days, and then we go into our capture the flag day on day 6, which is a fairly normal SANS kind of schedule for a lot of these classes. But it's so much fun. The PyWars game we play throughout the week is a great challenge, and people just really love it. So I highly encourage.
Here at Security Weekly, much of our coding projects, as we had our company meeting today, and I went through with development. We have 2 software engineers looking to add a third. Pretty much 90% of it is Python.
Yeah.
The software that publishes all of our shows, puts all of those images on the monitors, plays all of our commercials. I'm missing something, but that's pretty much all Python. So, hey, if you want to help us. Also, along those lines, speaking of applications, we are launching a new show in 2018. I don't think I've told the host yet. I haven't got time with the host. We're going to schedule some time to tell about all the new things. One of the new things is Keith Hoodlet. We were just talking about Keith Hoodlet.
Yeah.
Keith Hoodlet and I mean, mostly Keith. I'm just kind of there to try and look pretty and probably fail at that most weeks. But we're hosting a show called Application Security Weekly.
Nice.
We're going to talk about DevOps and security for developers and development for security professionals. Basically is the gist of the whole show.
I know a couple companies that could listen to that.
We'll be debuting that in 2018. We have a planning meeting tomorrow. We've got sponsors signed on for it, and we're going to be ready to go in January. I'm super excited because I love software I've been doing since I was 7 years old, and so now I get to do a whole show on it. I mean, that's really our goal with this whole network is we just get to sit around and talk about stuff that we're excited about. Yeah, exactly.
And that said, Paul, I'm going to put this on the air just so we have this public record of it. I've posed to you that we do 2 special edition shows, kind of like we did with the Vegemite thing. Joff last week. Just a special fun thing.
I think your ideas are better than the Vegemite. I don't know why I don't get into the Vegemite thing. I'm just not.
It's okay.
You just have to try it.
It's okay.
I will try it. I will try it.
And Joff, I will bring that to the studio for Paul.
Try anything once, twice if I like it.
Right, exactly. And it only burns the first time.
It's all in the preparation.
Exactly. You saw the post, Joff. But we need to do an episode on cutting the cord.
Yes, I'm on board with that.
And we need to do it's a special edition. Of
it's like with like OT cutting the cord with Security Weekly because it's somewhat. I mean, it is very much a hacker mindset.
It is.
Yeah, I agree. We'll do cutting the cord. I love talking about cutting the cord. We'll do it. Yes, absolutely.
The other one that I think we need to do is that I've started watching this YouTube series called Hot Ones, where a gentleman sits down and interviews famous people, and I think we could benefit after nearly 13 years of doing this, interviewing each other. And I think we do a little play on that, the Hot Ones interview, in that you ask me a question, I ask you a question, it goes back and forth. But as part of that, what happens is they eat hot wings.
Really?
Really. So what it is, it's typically a one-sided thing. But I think we can make this work as for just this one special episode, in that we have 10 hot wings, and that's what they do. They do 10 hot wings, and they go from mild to wild. And as the conversation goes, so you ask me a question, we have a mild wing. I ask you a question, we have a mild wing. And it gets progressively worse. Now, I know you are not a hot food connoisseur.
Yeah, like I would, like at 5, I would probably die.
So we will attune that appropriately so that it is appropriately uncomfortable for said interview.
Literally I could get to 5, so maybe like we do like 2 milds for me and then
it would be, because it would be going back and forth, it would be a mild, warmer, and the last one is, by our standards, hot, uncomfortable.
I do like hot wings. The problem is I'm old and I get heartburn.
I know, but that's the thing. We have the water and milk, and that's the whole preparation for the show thing.
I'm on board with this.
It's not something meant to kill us. It's meant to be something for us to do the interview of each other. Because have we ever asked each other, how'd you get your start in information security?
No, I like it. I like it a lot.
I think that's good.
And I really channel, who's the guy on, what is it, like the biography channel or A&E that does the interviews with all the stars? What's his name? Someone tell me his name. James.
That guy.
James something.
Either way.
He's a great interviewer.
I have been working on curating the hot sauce. knowing that you are not a super hot, get heartburn type of person.
See, I love hot wings. Again, my whole thing is like I don't go like on a scale of 1 to 10 of hotness. When I get above 5, it gets really uncomfortable and it's not as enjoyable for me. Like 5 and below.
That's what she said.
Like, dude, I'm good. Like I'll eat freaking hot wings till the cows come home.
I will make you the promise that everything up to 5 will be enjoyable, and I will also, if we do that above 5 for that last one.
Yeah, like I can do like 1 or 2, like maybe above 5.
But if above 5, it will only be 1.
Okay.
It will also be fucking hot, but it will also be tasty.
Yeah.
It won't be, you will just be eating fire.
No, yeah, I get, dude, I love hot wings. I mean,
so,
in college, my friends and I used to like mow hot wings so they're going out of style, and it was, I love it, but just like I reached 40, and hot wings are like it's like a heartburn, and like the next day is just horrible. But they taste so good. That doesn't mean I don't appreciate it.
So,
well, I like the idea, not so much I like the idea of the hot wings too, and hopefully we can arrange for most of us to be in studio.
Absolutely.
But I also think it would be cool for our listeners to learn about some of us.
I agree. Absolutely.
We're on the show, and some people might wonder, why is that guy on the show?
Yep. And I think maybe once you guys are in the studio, I'd be happy to do sort of those episodes, sort of a one-off with everybody. I think that makes sense. And I think for us, because the 2 main hosts, that maybe we just go back and forth on that one, and then every other one, I'd be happy to host those type of episodes.
Yeah.
And for the record, Mark in the back room, that honey habanero that you've got back there, I think that's the last wing sauce. And that's this is why I've been bringing hot sauce in, because I've been preparing for this for.
Damn it, Larry!
Now
I have a craving for hot wings right now. Like I want to stop at Wings to Go on my way home.
Wait.
So
No.
I have to say that I love the idea of interviewing each other. By the way, I think that would be an excellent thing to do, and is way overdue. But we should get to the security news.
Yes.
I know Larry wants to say something though.
No, yeah, absolutely. So let's get to the security news, Paul.
So North Korea has been
Blah, blah, blah.
blah blah blah
Ne-
blah blah blah.
next.
North Korea. Okay, next.
No, we need to get that a little bit more.
What do you want to say, Larry?
I don't know. I've been just getting all these messages that like everyone's like, Paul, did you hear like North Korea was behind WannaCry? I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, what? That doesn't.
No, it doesn't surprise us, but the fact that someone's actually
claim
playing
is
privy.
that North Korea's.
Well, I think it's interesting, and I caught a little bit from Dave Kennedy on it, in that there are many folks that are now saying WannaCry was North Korea. And the fact that North Korea has that level of capability is, in my opinion...
Yeah, but WannaCry was still kind of lame.
But it worked. Lame
Well,
works.
no, it didn't. They didn't make money on it. They didn't make near as much as they should have. It was a botched ransomware thing. I mean, they caused all sorts of dismay and
It
destruction.
wasn't money,
but they
though. Yeah, it
didn't
was
make money.
destruction.
But Jack, did they care if they made money?
No.
Or was that merely
Yes,
the ruse?
Yes, they do. They fund their government off of all of these frauds. I mean, they need the money. They're broke. But yes.
So wait, you're saying
it
North
was
Korea funds its
destructive.
government based on cybercrime, Jack?
Yes.
Not
Not
bad, that.
exclusively, but I mean, you know,
And
Yeah,
this is why I want to talk
You
about it
heard
more.
it here first.
And this is why I want to
No,
talk
you
about it more.
didn't hear it here first. I mean, if you've paid attention to the SWIFT hacks, a lot of those have been blamed on North Korea.
Mhm.
It's not like. Never mind. I'm gonna get
No.
into politics, and Jeff and I'll get wound up, and it'll turn ugly. So I'm gonna shut up now.
Well, I mean, they need some source of income. I mean, obviously, South Korea makes money on TVs, but so North Korea needs its revenue stream, and why not cybercrime?
Traders with bad certificates.
Oh.
Next story.
Next. Paul, I know you and I both have some stuff in here about WordPress.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Shit.
Hey,
WordPress.
That's a rare
Tell-
occurrence. Let's talk about a word.
But no, I think it's interesting
Yeah,
though
same.
that in the way this played out.
And mine as well.
So let's say you're implementing some type of framework, and it doesn't matter what the framework is. In this case, it's WordPress. It could be any other content management system. It could be any other software system that supports some kind of add-on structure. That could be your browser. That could be your operating system.
In-game purchases for your Apple iTunes.
Yeah, exactly. Someone creates software. They let other people develop software add-ons for it. I mean, Cody, as we talked about, the cutting the cord thing, right? Cody supports add-ons. Tons and tons of software platforms support add-ons and extensions. WordPress is just one of them. What if, like, the path to hacking people is as the add-ons create an ecosystem or get customers and people downloading that, hundreds of thousands of people are implementing this add-on, they decide, I'm kind of done or whatever, or someone basically hijacks their system in order to backdoor the software, which is an add-on to some other software for those hundreds of thousands of people. And that's what happened to WordPress as the extension changed ownership
Over time, yep.
over time, and that owner doesn't take the due diligence, or something happens in the transaction or the change of ownership that allows bad actors to put code in that add-on that allow bad actors to do bad things. To me, that's kind of an interesting take on software security. Discuss.
This is really interesting. You talk about that third-party implementation. And WordPress is always one of those ones that it's very much... WordPress does a decent job at its core. And we can't.
Better
I
lately.
said
better,
decent.
well,
I said decent. I didn't
better-
say a fantastic.
Better lately.
Hey,
as,
along the lines of Active Directory,
Yeah.
decent job.
All right, decent job.
no,
But
Active Directory insecure by design. WordPress, insecure by design, but got better.
Got better.
In that automatic updates can happen.
Yep.
Secure your core.
Yep. And
WordPress.
they've done better over the years, and they've gotten better, just like Microsoft did.
But it's the add-ons.
But it's the add-ons. It's like if you think about
Plugins
it's like
in
if you
WordPress.
think about from the Microsoft mentality is that every piece of additional software you add to your operating system, like Adobe Reader. How many times have we
But
talked
it's-
about Adobe Reader? Like this
it's
is
not
that,
even-
to me, that's the plug-in for WordPress.
It's not even so much that. It's like Microsoft's App Store is.
Yes.
People are adding out.
Fair enough.
Apple's App Store, Android App
Yep.
Store, right? Like it's
Yep.
that
Android
that ecosystem.
So if you want to draw the parallel, Android by itself is reasonable.
Yeah.
The applications installed by the
Bad
App Store
bad
could
example.
be worse.
Android's actually kind of.
And I said reasonable. I didn't say good. There's all sorts of subtleties in language here.
Android's platform is largely a friggin' train wreck.
I would never use an Android device unless for specific purposes. I bought 3 Android-based devices this Christmas. I bought 3 Amazon Fire HD8s.
I mean,
one of them.
It's loosely Android.
It's Android. It's Android. And now one of those is going in my kitchen, mounted to the cabinet, so I can look at recipes. That's it.
I mean, Google does a good job of keeping up with the Android updates on your phone in the Pixel, and it's interesting.
If it's a
Google somewhat a
device.
subset of security, and I love my Pixel because of the speed. And my wife was using my phone, and she's like, "Wow, this is really fast." And like for my wife to really notice, like, this is faster than my iPhone. I'm like, yeah, because that's like
I'd be
the latest
worried,
device from
Paul, if
Google.
your wife likes fast. Just saying.
Well, we have 3 kids, and that's, speed is, it's all about the execution, not the speed, Jeff. That's what I'm saying.
Got you. Okay.
Wow. I'd like it if my wife liked fast, because no, and I think that's the same thing. Like, I wasn't sold on the Raspberry Pi 3, and I fired one up the other day, and I'm like, holy shit, this thing boots fast. Like, this is a Raspberry Pi 3 versus the B Plus that I had a surplus of.
Yeah,
like,
no.
oh my god, these worlds of difference. But
Okay, now you're making me want to buy a Raspberry Pi 3.
no, don't buy one, buy like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did we find on the Pony Express webcast? They were like, there's like a dozen Raspberry Pis in your network. That's like anomalous. I'm like, no that's
normal.
but like
Yeah, it's
they're
normal.
doing stuff.
Yeah,
it's
the
normal.
dozen? Yeah, no, I have like 40. And now 41. And the pulse sensor picked up the new one that got plugged in.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And notified me. So Paul, I had a WordPress thing to dovetail on that, in that WordPress actually reported, the WordPress hosted stuff by WordPress reported that they had seen the most aggressive and robust admin console password attacks yet. And I think this is really indicative of things that, as pen testers and such, that we need to keep up with, in that there was a recent breach of credentials and so forth, and that they're already using these in public forum to do assessment against WordPress stuff. I mean, WordPress is a big deal because they host so many sites and people go there, and so many people host with WordPress and if you can get access to this, you can put your stuff in the bottom.
But the thing is, Larry,
the fact that they've evolved so quickly to use this new release of credentials, and RockU has been our default for years.
but the thing for me is, people like us in security will set up WordPress, we'll set up an account for ourselves. We're security professionals. We want to focus on doing really cool research and, in our case, like generating content for the shows, and the web design and some of those other things that require a WordPress account, we're going to delegate to other people that may not choose the same level of password that we choose.
Exactly.
And implementing, in this case, I think two-factor is a great way in which to do that. And one of the things that came out recently was Twitter.
Two-factor.
Finally.
With other stuff.
So Google,
like
you
Authy.
can now use Google Authenticator
and Authy and
with Twitter. And,
Oh, that's awesome.
well, for Security Weekly, right? we maintain a lot of access to social media sites, and in every single one of those instances, I enable two-factor authentication. So, and there are varying levels. Facebook supports one version of the YubiKey. If you use LastPass, they do. I'm like, great. Google supports it, right? And then I get to Twitter, and it's like, well, it's SMS only. I'm like, really? Like, come on, dude. Like, and so finally, they're supporting Google Authenticator, which I read that story today. I went in, I disabled the text SMS authenticate, and I set up my Google Authenticator, and I feel better about it because, and that's not, as we've talked about on the shows this year, right? Like that's not the end all be all to security, but it helps in that someone trying to steal your password and other such things. So.
Right. And this is huge from the password complexity and the way that the attackers are now evolved into using some of this new information that's become available. And WordPress has specifically said, hey, we're seeing this new stuff. As pen testers, guess what we need to do? The same.
Well, what's interesting with WordPress is I think it's the whole like software as a service versus like rolling your own. When you roll your own, you got to like get this plugin to implement two-factor, and it's a pain in the ass. And then now you're introducing a whole bunch more new code. I hope that WordPress.com supports two-factor if you... Well, I guess you'd still need to install the plugin, but it's their thing. But in any case, I don't know.
The big thing is that the WordPress hosted stuff.
You had me that WordPress was aware of it.
Yep. So the big thing is that WordPress hosted stuff is like, we've seen a drastic change in the way these attacks are being performed.
And does WordPress.com... So we have our own WordPress that we manage and maintain outside the cloud or SaaS. In WordPress.com, I hope they give the users the ability to enable two-factor authentication with that.
That's a good question.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works, but
I don't know.
I would hope that they do, or at least now that they have evidence of more attacks, that they allow that to happen.
Either way, the fact that it came out that we know that the attackers have evolved, I think it's great for us to know.
I think the moral of the story is that like WordPress itself has gotten better at security, and it's really the threats and exposures that the plugins have that are really the issue.
Yeah.
Okay, next story.
Yeah, next.
What are the most colossal data breaches of 2017? I mean, we can't have the last Paul security of 2017 without talking about like a year in review, predictions for 2018. We have to do all those things, right, guys?
I thought it was interesting some of the one key omission from the list.
What's that, Jeff?
Deloitte. So my first question is, what was their criteria for, what constitutes the top 7? I mean, I agree with Equifax and Uber being 1 and 2. I think that's goes without saying.
They go Edmodo, Verizon, Deeproot Analytics, Sonic Drive-In, and
all Wi-Fi
devices. Right, that's lame. That's lame.
Yeah, I agree. The Wi-Fi device.
That's not a data breach. That's a vulnerability.
Yep.
Yeah, that's lame. Bad on them.
Again, why not put Deloitte on the list instead of
what was the Deloitte breach, Jeff? Remind me.
Well, sure, put me on the spot.
Sorry.
And this might answer the question because I think it came out this year that there'd been I don't remember the details. I'm going to misquote it. It was some sort of a database or something that revealed a whole lot of information about like all of Deloitte's customers or financial information. But I want to say that it had actually happened in 2016, and it just came out to the public this year. But it was news because shortly after the announcement that Deloitte had this serious problem, they attained the number 1 security consulting company rating from Gartner, and so that sort of that's caused a little bit of a stir.
So I'd add one to that list, and it's actually in a link from that WordPress thing for the password attacks. Is that 1.4 billion clear text credentials discovered in a single database, which is out there, and which is interesting. And analyzing that dump file, it's not surprising The password with the most is 123456. The number 2 is 12345678 Go through these real quick. QWERTY password, all ones for 6 characters. 1 through 8. ABC 123 123456 password 1. Homeless PA is 1. I love you.
Oh my.
1Q2W3E. QWERTY UIOP 123456A and 56.
I want to
543621.
I know we're running a little short on time as it's getting towards 9 o'clock, but Jack, you talk about the actors in this particular story, Tavis Ormandy being one of them. Dan
Is he really
Gooden,
human?
Dan Gooden being the other one, that in the password manager Keeper, there was a vulnerability that Tavis found. Dan broke that news on Ars Technica. And I want to say that in our 13 years?
Yeah,
13 years of doing this show, those names carry a lot of weight in terms of both a journalist and a security researcher that we love and respect.
And neither have been on the show?
Neither have been on the show. We're going to fix that in 2018.
I was going to say, Sam, take note, but I know she's not here.
She's not here, but yeah, take note of that. And Jack, over to you.
Deep sigh. So apparently DJI isn't the only company that doesn't know how to handle vulnerability reporting.
Mm-hmm. True.
True.
This is, I mean, it's classic. It's a thing that's played out since before you guys started the podcast. And threatening journalists is, especially respected journalists in a segment like this, like Dan is really fucking dumb.
So Jack, I agree in curating stories for all of our shows on the Security Weekly network today. Dan is someone that, like, I don't question what he presents because he's built up a reputation with me and earned my trust. Right. Does that extend to you as well?
Yes, I completely agree. Having read Dan Gooden stuff for many years, having met him a few times in Vegas when we're all there and had some conversations. He takes what he does seriously, and this is just a classic case of Keeper getting it all wrong. A lot of other media has, like, I've seen things where Keeper has been called Google Keeper. Just because it comes on Android doesn't mean it's a Google thing. But the fundamental issue of your stuff sucks, and instead of working
fixing
with
it,
people, you sue. And so suing a journalist in general,
it's bad form.
It's a dumb idea. It's a dumb idea. And the backlash is probably going to be pretty destructive for Keeper. And candidly, I really hope it is destructive for people like that. I mean, they're in a space where they should know better. This isn't somebody that's decided they can make a better, baby monitor and has no idea about security. They're allegedly in a security space, and they're imbeciles, to be blunt.
Yeah. And so LastPass is my choice for a password manager. Does the panel largely agree?
I use OnePass.
One password.
Yep.
Password. I would put that in the same category.
Yep. And
Jack, Jeff, do you guys use a password manager?
I am a LastPass user because that was the first one that I was exposed to that was across multiple platforms.
Yep.
If I were to start today, it would probably be a coin toss between 1Password and LastPass. And we've talked about this, and it is a single point of failure. But if you actually use the password manager to have complex passwords, and you use the tools that come with them to change passwords and check your passwords and make sure that the breach passwords that are available in some of these things, if you actually use the tool well, personally, I believe it's certainly worth the risk trade-off, particularly for those of us who have hundreds of passwords.
Now,
if you have a simple life,
it's interesting to note, Jack, and I want to get your opinion on this, that as a small company here at Security Weekly, being very security minded, we choose LastPass. I like YubiKey as my second factor, and I also like Signal to help protect our messages and information. PGP, I think, to help secure our email. You agree with those choices as well?
I like Signal.
Mm-hmm.
I use Signal with you now. I use Signal with Sam.
Yeah.
And use Signal with a number of other folks.
We've tried to standardize on that as a company.
Yep.
I think those are wise choices. If you disagree, send us email.
Yep.
Jeff, do you guys agree?
The other one I use is Telegram.
Mm-hmm.
So just to weigh in, I'm right in line with you, Paul. I use LastPass, but I was an early adopter, and so just like Jack said, I may have a different choice. Would I be looking today? And I definitely am a big fan of Signal. Use it, as you're aware, because we signal together as well. And YubiKey as a second factor works really great. Google Authenticator is another great second factor.
Yep.
So
I'm old school.
Google
I don't use any online password vault. I keep them in my head. I've got my throwaway passwords that I use on stuff I don't care about, where you have to register and they want you to have an account just to do something. For things I care about, I use a really kick-ass long, cryptographically hard to solve or hard to break the hash password. And I use one of 4 that are revolving, and I routinely forget them and have to reset my password a lot.
And Jeff, I'm in the same boat as you. I use similar type of tactics when stuff doesn't end up in 1Password or something of the like.
I do reserve certain accounts that I do not put in my password manager.
Yep, like financial.
Not even financial.
For me, financial, I don't put it in my password manager.
So some financial, but I'm thinking more of when I log into our cloud hosting provider or when I have to make changes to our domains.
Yeah.
And those I keep like outside of my password manager because I still don't trust it enough to do that.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm encouraged that I hear you say that because, when password vaults came around, I was taught you never put something online, you never write it down. It's just kind of silly. So every fiber of my body is like, why are people using vaults? And then every time some hack or compromise of LastPass or whatever comes out, I'm like,
Well, but I protect my LastPass vault with 2-factor authentication with YubiKey, so you need an actual physical key.
Yep.
For those high value accounts, I keep them in my head, and my wife kind of gives me shit. She's like, what if you get run over by a bus? And I'm like, so I'm going to write those down for you so that you have them in case I do get hit by a bus or whatever. But I feel like that's the strategy.
It's funny you mentioned that, Paul, because back in the day, the rule of thumb was always don't write things down, and in the early days of doing site assessments, especially when we were all on site, one of the activities was to look around the desks and the cubicles for the sticky notes that were on the monitor or on that little board that slides out. And you could find stuff, or you'd look around and say, oh wow, this person really likes trolls. I wonder if trolls their password, type of thing. But it's almost gotten to the point these days where I would recommend to people for the passwords that you care about, write them down and put them someplace safe.
The irony that I find for me, anyways, and of course now that I say this is going to happen, is that every time one of these password breaches happen, I want to download the entire contents of the password breaches because I want to search them for my passwords offline.
Yeah, I agree, Larry. That's a good point. That's a great point.
For a number of years, I will say since about 1995, I have used the same password for those throwaway, you need to register type accounts.
A variation thereof.
No. The same password since 1995.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that too.
I'm guilty of that too. With some variation, but largely the same password.
For me, it is the same password since 1995. I have never seen any derivative of that password in any one of the breaches. And it is a simple password. It is 8 characters. It is a 6
Well, yeah,
number. It is a 6-letter password and 2 numbers.
because some sites don't let you go beyond that.
Right.
Yeah.
But the fact that
Larry,
I have never seen a derivative of that password, the 6 alpha characters. Never mind the numbers of 8-character password. The 6 alpha I have never seen in one of those password breaches is surprising to me.
Yeah.
That said, I still use that
assuming
password as one of those, I need to register to buy something that doesn't store my credit card, needs a guest login type thing. I'll still use that one since 1995.
I would also highly recommend people, and this is something I do, keep a physical safe in your house.
Yes.
And put your backup media in it. Put your important papers in there. Put your passports in there. I mean, make sure it's waterproof and fireproof. I mean, that kind of stuff.
Put the title to your car in there too, so that you don't have to go through multiple Rubbermaid bins to find the title, which I had to do lately.
And also, don't get a safe that is certified for pearls. Because pearls melt at a lower temperature, so your safe could be completely impervious to having paper and all that stuff and survive a fire. Pearls, not so much. So if you put pearls in your safe, make sure you have a safe that is certified for pearls.
Oh, because
they'll melt your documents. Make sure your
they will melt the pearls.
Make sure your safe has lots of desiccants
through your documents.
Through your documents, or just melt the pearls. Period. If you have thousands of dollars in pearls,
you want to protect your pearl necklace.
Wait, my wife has a $10,000 pearl necklace. Say, you put that in the safe.
I want to go back a minute.
Risk
to Larry's
assessment with Larry.
password.
Protect your pearls.
Protect your pearls.
Protect your pearls.
So,
Larry, your
people
password,
like
although
me-
it's clever and you've never seen a permutation of it, 8 characters is cryptographically solvable.
Yes, it is.
Especially as long as it's been around.
Yes.
My recommendation these days is, it doesn't even have to be, and this is sort of piggybacking on the NIST rule that came out earlier this year, where they're abandoning the password complexity for simply just make it frickin' longer. And if you're not a mathematician, this might be hard to grasp, but every time you add a character, you're adding an exponential factor to brute forcing it.
Michael Sintarcangelo, I think, since we're going to end this year on passwords, because we're running short on time, but, basically tying together something you do with something you have with something else, something you've observed or whatever, like tying together those 3 things has really helped me improve my password strategy. And those can be anything. But if you kind of approach your password, not a password, but as we've said, a passphrase, and if you can, security people already know this or can very easily latch onto it and change their password strategy, and probably in the time span of a week, if you have LastPass, like reset all of your passwords and be there. But make society better, instill this over the holiday break on all of your relatives and friends that you're going to see over holiday break. Something you do, something you have, and something you observe, right? And you can tie it's weird how the brain works. I've tied those 3 things together to make passphrases, something very easy to remember. And I'm like, wow, like if you just think of it as something you do, something you have, and something you observe, like, wow, like it's really easy to put together a 15 or 20 character passphrase.
Wait a minute. Like, so say that again. Something you do.
Something you do.
Pick your nose.
Something you have.
Penis.
Something you observe.
Paul. Pick your nose, penis, Paul. There's my password.
Dude, and I'm telling you, like,
how many
you
characters?
think, like,
that's what, 26 characters?
Yeah, but like you think, like,
oh
my
we
god,
know it. Switch out do the KRAD and switch a couple.
But like that's right
you're
now.
there.
uppercase the first letter, put a special character.
Pick your nose is 12 characters. Pick your nose. Penis is 5. That's 17. Paul is 4. That's 21 character password. Jeff?
And dude,
Jeff?
Like if you run through that in your head, I'm telling you, you'd be surprised as to how easy that is to remember.
For the record,
I take that strategy and I apply that like to the passwords that matter, like my LastPass password that protects the whole vault, and then I'm like, okay, my domains is another thing, my cloud security accounts, those all have like a totally different set.
Everybody's password dictionary now has pick your nose penis Paul in it.
Well,
hey,
that's just an example.
While I agree you're adding to the complexity, I can't tell you how many times I did site assessments where I would sit at somebody's desk and just look around at what was in front of me, and I was able to guess their password. And I was just, I wasn't cracking, I wasn't brute forcing.
Yeah.
I was just like, this person's really into unicorns. Unicorn with a capital U, unicorn 1. And back in those days, you had unlimited attempts. But
again, unicorn.
I amazed myself at how many times I could guess password.
Yeah, great point, Jeff. But unicorn is something you observe. But
Paul
again,
3.
Something that you do.
Pick your nose.
Something that you have.
Penis.
Something you observe.
I Google you. I look at your Facebook page, and I see, Paul likes cigars. I'm not disagreeing with the principle. I'm just saying maybe just tweak it a little bit more because, we are predictable. And if you give people ideas like this, they're going to default to the most obvious choice that somebody that targets them can probably figure out.
I'm telling you, to people to derive to like dance, handgun, and boobs, like that's a stretch, right?
Now,
like there's a lot of things that I do, there's a lot of things that I have, and there's a lot of things that I observe.
And I want to distill this down to something that one of my former coworkers in healthcare used to say all the time. Some is good. No, some is good. More is better. Too much is just enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a wrap.
And that's a wrap. Hey, you know what? It's been a fantastic year. We are so much looking forward to 2018. We've got so much. We're going to build on everything that we've done, and we're going to basically sit around and drink and talk security on this show.
For
and we're
more.
Gonna continue that for
and
the
we're gonna,
14th year.
But you know what? But we're going to be more awesome at it.
Yeah. It's good. We're going to have more fun. We're going to enable ourselves to drink more and talk more about security.
And I will say that I wouldn't be here continued if it wasn't for all of the hard work for Paul and staff. I'm at this point, I'm just a hanger-on. And I come in, I'm a personality, and I do things. And you know what? It's awesome. The hard work goes to Paul and all of the crew that goes on behind the scenes.
Let me put my corporate
hat
on.
Or the crew.
Let me put my corporate hat on.
And
There's a
Sam,
lot of.
We love Sam.
There's a lot of synergies between the hosts and the employees and all of the listeners and our sponsors / partners.
Yep.
And just thank you, everyone, for a fantastic year. Yep. We're looking forward to 2018. Everyone have a wonderful holiday. We will see everyone in January. Take some time off. And you know what?
Let me say,
closing note, holiday hack challenge. Take some time to do that on your break.
Make your snowballs fly crooked. And for those of us that have already had our holidays, I hope you had a great holiday.
Yeah. And Larry, take us out.
With that, over and get the heck out of here. We'll see you in 2018.